everybody over there, though.
Just trying to delete one thing.
Hey, Facebook peeps. It is episode 61 for Chit Chat Shop, and you have two lovely co-hosts tonight.
Ooh.
And an amazing guest, which we're very excited about. We have Faith here from Niche Travel.
Hello, everyone.
Chef Andrew.
Hi.
And me, of course, drinking wine, as per usual. Cheers to that. And we're super excited to have you on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're
Excited.
We're super.
I've been watching some of these shows. So
I know. But I was told that I had to be very quick and fast in the intro because Andrew is doing risotto tonight, and he needs the full 25 minutes to make sure that it's cooked by the end. So you start, and then we will take over and tell the story.
I guess got to set some boundaries, you know.
Oh, boundaries with the boss. I love it.
He's like, back up.
He's like, get out of my space.
Hey, this is risotto. You can't. I'm sorry, Patty. You can't even overrule risotto.
I know.
But basically, the idea is we want to make it start to finish. So to do that and do a risotto at home, it takes about 25 minutes to a half an hour.
Yep.
If you've got your stock warm behind you, so
Which is key.
very key.
Very key.
So we'll get into that in a little bit, but basically I'm just going to start this off in a hot pan. I've got some onions,
Cheers. We're just going to stay
Cheers.
here and drink. Okay.
Love it.
and I will employ some stirring help in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got some onions, I've got some celery going in here. This is just my mirepoix to start off the risotto. So I'm going to cook this off a little bit first, and then add in our rice, and then a little bit of nice white wine, which maybe you could help us out with.
Sure, I'd love to.
Awesome.
Nope. It has to stay in the bottle or in the glass.
So I got my my onion and my celery in there, and I'm also I'm going to wait about 2 minutes and add some garlic into that. But
You don't want to burn the garlic, right?
I don't want to burn the garlic. Don't want to
And
burn
the
the
key
garlic.
to risotto is to season through the entire procedure. That is like number one step of risotto.
Absolutely.
You like add in your
Layer
spices?
your seasoning. So you
Yeah.
add all your salt at the end. It's not gonna do it justice. So you
Okay.
see he seasons the onions and the celery. When he adds the garlic and he tastes, he might adjust it a little bit. And then every time he adds stock, he's probably going to adjust a little bit. Right?
Absolutely, and that's a great general tip for cooking.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Yeah, just season as you go. That way, I mean, you cook out any raw salt flavor. Sometimes there's a high mineral content in your salt, but it also just seasons all the layers and
Yeah.
makes for a
And
much
that's
better
just
product.
all of these cooking shows that I'm sure you've seen that everyone's on, all these YouTube. And they always grab like a fistful of salt and dump it in one
It drives you crazy. Yeah.
risotto.
Oh, you got to do the sprinkles. This
Yeah.
is,
No, they just dump like
Yeah.
whatever their spices.
It's gotta
like,
rain.
Here's all the basil, plop in one spot, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
It is.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so what stage are we at?
So we are at the stage where I've had the onions and the celery just sort of sweating out with a little bit of salt for about 3 or 4 minutes. So we're at the garlic point now.
And Faith had a very good point because
Yes.
she has been, we're going to talk a little bit later, but she's been to Italy and she's done some amazing cooking and chatting with a bunch of people. And you learned.
Well, I do amazing eating.
You ate it. Okay, you
No,
eating
not
and
cooking.
drinking.
Yeah, eating and drinking. Yeah.
But she learned a
Other people
tip
cooked.
from someone
I
there.
did. So the owner of the villa, we have, so back it up, so we have a couple different trips to Tuscany. One's with Bishop Cellar.
I'm going sometime.
Patty's going to probably lead a trip that we've been gabbing about here. And Stefano is the gentleman that owns the villa, and he's also a chef. And he does this great little olive oil chit chat. And he says that we just overuse olive oil, and especially in cooking, like put in the pan, the whole Remember who was the
Yep.
chef? It was like put it around twice, the big
Oh, yeah,
So you're using expensive olive oil when it should be used for like dressing on top. For
Finishing.
flavor.
Olive oil
Absolutely.
is a finishing oil.
It's got a very low smoke point, so you try to fry anything in it, you're a lot more likely to burn down your house and get a nice crispy anything. Yeah, definitely use like a neutral oil. This is canola oil here.
Perfect.
But on the place, if you had a real, like when you finish this risotto, finish it with a nice olive oil.
Oh, beautiful.
Just a
Right
little
on
bit
top.
That has
so
all the
good.
flavor in,
Yeah, that has all the flavor. You're not destroying any of the flavor with it.
And what do you think of truffle oil? Is it like too much for most stuff?
Ah,
People have been overusing truffle oil like crazy. Okay. Because it's
Just
expensive.
get truffles.
So let's stay away from truffle oil because it's really, really expensive.
I'm going to tell you a truffle oil story. I'm going to add the rice in here. So this is arborio rice, which
Okay.
is perfect for this. 2 types of rice that I've used to make risotto, carnaroli and arborio.
I was going to say.
Yeah, arborio in this case is great if you're making it ahead and like want to reconstitute it a little bit. That is where carnaroli comes in. They both have a lot of starch in them, so they release the starch in slightly different ways. So
Okay.
yeah, please stir
Yes,
away.
I'm a good stir.
Stirring, drinking, and
Stirring,
eating,
drinking.
which we will do at the end.
Yes. Oh, and I have a little extra crispy garlic in the middle.
Oh,
there, so let's
okay.
work on that. Perfect.
Yeah.
So is this rice from regular countries where rice is grown? Like, does this feel like from Asia kind of thing?
This
or?
is actually an Italian crop right here, but there's
Wow.
all short grain rice is found in all kinds of
Yeah.
different cultures. This isn't far off sushi rice, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot. Yeah, this rice in particular is bred to have a lot of starch and sort of release that starch in a particular way. So
Which is what gives risotto a lot of its creaminess,
Absolutely.
right? Is that creamy, starchy thing.
yeah, exactly.
So you actually fry the rice in a little bit.
Yes, and so the idea here is the rice. See how it's getting translucent now? You've got little
Yep.
bits of white in there, but a lot more translucent.
coming
We're
up
looking for
clear.
the rice to get like 80% translucent before we add any liquid to it.
Oh.
That way we know the rice is sort of toasting a little bit, and it's also absorbing that flavor from the garlic and onions.
This is so
and celery.
knowledgeable, that Chef Andrew.
I'm knocking risotto out of the pan here.
That's fine. Risotto is one of these dishes that when I first started learning how to cook, I obsessively made it all the time. It was like rice with cheese, yes please.
Yes.
Yeah, Jamie Oliver
And
got me
anything
started.
else you want to put in it, really. I mean,
absolutely.
it lends itself to everything.
Yeah, we could have started this off with a little bit of bacon or cured meat or something.
And cheddar.
Would you do
Yeah,
them
yeah.
first if you did both
Yes,
meat?
so I'd fry that up first with the onions and celery, so you get that.
It's
that
all right.
fat out
I'm
of it.
good. I'm covered.
Patty, I wonder if you
Get
could,
Patty with
give
the
us, a good amount of white wine. The idea right now is we want to get some kind of perfect. So you can use lemon juice at this stage, but
Very
white wine
talented.
is perfect because it helps the starch sort of, now that the rice is all toasted, it helps the rice sort of get some of that starch out and also goes right into the grain, so that wine flavor really concentrates in the
It's a
rice.
bit of a food geek, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
like it. And it doesn't have to be clear yet.
I can
just
talk
a
about
little
this
bit like
all
half.
day.
All day.
All day.
So what's your favorite risotto?
I really love I love the basics because you can always launch off the basics. This is going to be sort of a riff on a very basic risotto, but I just like cheese,
smells so
rice,
good.
maybe a little bit of mascarpone or butter at the very end, just on its own, and then maybe some fresh herbs on top, like super
And
simple.
so no meat or anything.
No
Just,
meat
you know,
or anything, but you can totally go crazy with it. I've done a smoked haddock one, which is really good.
Oh, yum,
Yeah,
yum.
yeah, like had
like-
a double smoked bacon one, which is
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
bacon should be on everything all the time. Just
As long as
always.
it's
not a
good
bad thing.
bacon.
Not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
There's a lot of bad bacon
Yeah.
out there too, right?
I make chicken wraps for my kid, and now he's very healthy, so now he's addicted to only chicken wraps every single day. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I give him money. I'm like, just buy lunch. He's like, where's my chicken
Where's
wrap?
my chicken wrap?
But now I have
Where's my
bacon on
bacon?
it. So now I have bacon on it, and it's a whole
new thing.
Whole new thing.
All right, we're at a perfect stage now. See how the rice has sort of absorbed all that wine, and it's starting to get a little sticky on the bottom of the pan.
It is, yeah, it's getting sticky.
So just get a little
Okay.
whiff of that. This is Parmesan stock. So I made this
Andrew
with
loves this.
Parmesan sauce.
Parmesan stock. So this is actually, I'm just going to ladle this in. This is
Okay.
key with risotto is you just add your liquid a little bit at a
Little
time.
bit at a time,
And you can
okay.
see this is steaming, and that's what we want. We don't want to drop the temperature of the rice as we're cooking.
So no chicken, just.
So you can totally use chicken stock,
Yeah.
you can totally use beef stock, whatever you got going on. But I took these rinds. You can buy them at most grocery stores. I've seen them
Yeah.
at the Italian market. Just the rind itself. You boil it up in a pot like you would a veg stock with some celery, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, and half an hour to 45 minutes later, you've got a beautiful cheese-tasting stock. And it's a great way to use these pizzas
Yeah.
that are
Which you
normally
can't
gone to
use for
waste.
anything, really.
You can't really use them for anything. Exactly.
Except for
So
minestrone.
you would never use water then making rice. You should always use a good
not for
stock.
risotto. I would use
Or you
like a
just
good
regular
veg
rice?
stock
Yeah.
or I mean regular rice. It depends. It depends what other seasoning.
Because
Depends what you're
sometimes
going
it
to
has
use.
so much flavor. When you have rice sometimes out, there's so much flavor to it. And that's
I usually always have chicken stock in the fridge, so I generally use.
Yeah,
use
chicken stock's perfect
That's
for
good.
rice. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Andrew, you take over the stirring because we're going to chat all things
Ooh.
niche travel here with
all
Faith.
things travel on
All
the
things travel.
coldest day of the year so far.
I know. Minus 18 tonight.
I had Instagram Live on the other phone there. So while this is recording,
Instagram Live.
Instagram
We're
Live
live somewhere.
Hey!
Hey!
Are we really live?
on Instagram, see, we just double checked.
So Instagram's our friend tonight, not Facebook.
Yes.
Hello.
Interesting.
Instagram's
Well,
owned by
I've had more
Facebook, so
power.
what are you doing,
I know.
Facebook?
What are you doing, Facebook? What's
Kids.
happening?
The kids are taking over.
Kids are taking
Yeah.
over. Anyway,
We're just
speaking
so
of the kids
popular here
taking
on
over,
this
here I
Chit Chat
go.
Shop. Would you like a little top up?
Sure.
Okay.
What
So,
do we got there? Those are the Brussels sprouts.
oh, those are crispy roasted Brussels
yeah.
sprouts. Those are for later. Don't give away the secret.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. Cool.
So
So,
good.
niche travel. How did this begin? What is, tell us your story.
My story. So short version. So finished university in France. So fell in love with
Wow.
Europe. Yes. Was going
Jealous.
to. Yeah, it was great. Going to get a job as a guide in Europe because
Okay.
we did a great tour of Berlin in Europe one day. And it was a Canadian that was doing it, and I thought I'll just move to Europe. I'll just do these.
I'll just do this.
Yeah, it's what I did in university. Studied like art history, literature, put it all together. I'll just do this. And then ended up coming back, and one of the girls I met there was from out west, and
Okay.
said, you haven't even seen the mountains, you haven't seen your own country, come on out. Went out there, met all these great guys from Halifax. So moved here for
Great
summer.
city.
Yeah, moved here for summer. Fell in love with the place. I just love it. It's a great size, and just the pace is amazing.
It
It
is.
feels like, you get to know everybody really well. And then got my first job working in a travel agency in a regular kind of bigger bricks and mortar
Okay.
shop. And then just felt that there was a way to do it where everyone just plays with their specialty. So if you're going to go to South Africa, you talk to someone who's been to South Africa. If you want to go to Italy, you talk to someone who's been to Italy. If you're taking your family away in an all-inclusive vacation, you talk to someone who's been to all those. And so we have people who do like all adventure travel and really
Very cool.
cruise, specialized in all different things. Disney, like our Disney specialist, been to Disney 17 times or 18 times. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's perfect because people talk to me about Disney, and I went twice, and I only told my kids are only allowed to stay 2 days.
I've never gone to Disney, so I have no idea.
You love it or you don't, and so it was. Anyway, we just thought that was a better way to do it. And then I love food, I love wine, I love cooking classes, I love doing all that stuff. So we started kind of doing some culinary adventures, and Bishop
Yeah.
Cellar got involved, and we've done 2 river cruises and a California trip.
You got one coming up.
And we have one
In
coming
May.
up. Yeah, they just launched theirs yesterday on the website.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And these lovely wines that we're drinking tonight, which we'll talk about in a little bit, they're from Bishop Cellar as
Ah,
well.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a great selection.
Oh, they have great selection.
Yeah, and great contacts. And that was a whole fun thing with all these. I was on the first one in California, and you have all these little insider visits to all these great wineries. And you walk in, a lot of times they think that they're the trade partner. So they're kind of treating everyone like, oh, so you're all trade partners. We're like, yes. I like that $80 bottle
And it
of wine.
sounds
Yeah.
really intimate. Like you said, it's 16
so
people,
fun.
right?
Yeah,
Like
60 people. We went a little bit. I think we're up to like 17 in the last one. We try to keep it 15 to 17.
that is
Yeah.
a great group size.
Yeah, because then it's you get to know everybody, and it's easy to navigate those little streets. So a bit of free time, we joke about getting your 10,000 steps in. I mean, everyone was walking 5K, 7K a day, just kind of wandering around. But yeah, so that one just launched.
You have to if you're eating and drinking. the
It was
whole day.
amazing, and no one gained any weight. I was like, I can't believe it. Yeah, and no hangovers too, which is it's a good thing.
No hangovers.
Mhm.
So if you travel with Faith, you don't get a
Guaranteed
hangover.
no
Yeah,
hangover.
No hangover
Guaranteed no
guarantee. You
hangover.
heard it here first.
Yeah, only in Italy though.
Only in Italy.
I don't know what they do to the wine there.
Yeah.
But
And we can't prove anything. So.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So yeah, it was lots of fun. So that one is May 20th.
And then you've got it's not just regions of Italy
Yeah.
or some sort of European. You're doing musical ones. Like you've got
Yes.
one coming out with Alan Doyle. And
Yes.
you've got. I was
Yes.
like, wow, this is
Yes,
Alan
we
Doyle.
have, yeah. So
Mark Stevens here, by the way.
oh,
Hello.
Graham Snippets.
so we're cooking risotto. He's a great. Actually, he met him and his wife Terry. She won a prize for sales, and they got to go meet Jamie Oliver in England. And there's some great pictures.
That'd be cool. Just say that'd be
It was
cool.
awesome.
They're
So
awesome.
props to
Those-
these
those-
guys. They're
that's
all about
awesome.
healthy cooking, and they're wonderful, wonderful
Kindness
people.
and all that
Yes,
stuff.
exactly. They do some great stuff. So thank you for watching. So we do all kinds of little fun things, and so Alan Doyle, that's the river cruise on the Danube. So that's gone really, really well. We have 6
Yeah, we'll be
cabins
going on that,
left. Only
Robin.
6 cabins left. So that's really, and I get to host that one. That'll be lots of fun.
And he's like, do you need a chef on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Patty's got this weird thing where she can read my mind, and I haven't even known her that long. It's amazing.
I know. We've only
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah.
3-4 months.
Kismet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing that one, so that'll be great. And Corey's, of course, going with Alan, so it's the Alan Doyle Trio. So it's Corey and Kendall, so it's going to be just
Wow.
a great, it's going to be, there's maximum on the ship is 182 people, right? So it's just going to be our group and a few other people, and just, we're all going to be doing tours together and having some drinks in the pub, and
How
so
cool.
it's going to be lots of fun. And then so the trip that we did 2 years in a row with Corey and Paul
Lamb,
Paul,
our
who's
lovely
on
friend
here.
Paul
Yeah.
Lamb,
Who's a great chef.
who's hosting. He's coming up. He's going to host
He's
soon.
gonna host. Remember they're doing the show at the Carlton?
Yeah.
He's coming on that week to be the
Oh,
host
fun.
here.
Yes. So we're very excited
he's
about
great.
that.
Yeah, he's always putting some incredible recipes on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of fun. So we did 2 with them, and then with Shaded, that's also been here.
Yeah.
So then this year, I
Woo-hoo!
know. And then this year, we had the idea, and
We've got
launched
all
it.
the guests happening at
I
Chit
know.
Chat Shop.
That's true. That's true. It's all here.
It's all
now.
here. It's just not live.
We have guests even when we're not live. I mean,
Oh, it's live on
here.
Instagram. Sorry, we
Instagram
did
live.
not mean to.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to.
We
exclude
love you, Instagram. We just don't know you from your mind.
Yes.
You're already in a relationship with Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Follow me.
Yes, I just winked at Instagram. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So what, did we miss anything?
No,
We're
this
still-
is the relaxing
This
part
is the
about risotto.
process.
That's why you made the TV show.
This is why it'd be real-time risotto
The
would be a great
bubbles.
calming TV show. So yeah, we want to keep it at just these light bubbles. I've had a chef describe them as fish eyes before. So
Okay.
if you see little bubbles that are the shape of fish eyes, which is just above a.
That is really weird because they do look like fish eyes.
Yeah. You know what you call it when it's simmering just a little bit less than this?
What?
Farts in a bathtub.
You're
We're not
joking.
No, I've heard that before.
That's amazing.
Would you like a little vino, Mr. Andrew?
I think I'm doing okay.
Okay. Okay.
Here's a question for someone that's watched Hell's Kitchen 4,000 times in every
Yeah.
episode. It's like, the risotto, and they're losing their mind.
Yeah.
How do they make it so fast? Do they not make risotto like the right?
I'm glad you asked. So I was talking earlier
Was it
about
like
two
a
types of rice. You got
turbo
arborio and carnaroli.
You take it too
Anyway, if you're using the carnaroli rice, you can do this arborio a little bit better with the other one. But basically, you cook it just a little bit beyond this stage right here, where it's still al dente. So you bite into it and you still see a little bit of starch in the middle of the rice.
Par
And you put it
cooking.
on it's called par cooking. You put it on a sheet pan, put it right in your fridge, and you halt that cooking process. So then you're only about 3 minutes away from a finished risotto on a hot stove. So you take this product, put it with stock, mix it together, and finish it with some cheese and butter, and that's the Hell's Kitchen variety, and that's how most restaurants would do it
Yeah,
as well. This
exactly.
this is not tenable for a restaurant to make fresh
Especially on a
risotto.
line where you're doing a zillion
So
covers.
they wouldn't
right?
put the stock in yet, though. Just put in
No,
the
they
pan
would.
with
Oh,
the.
they would.
Oh, really?
You take it to sort of this, and then immediately chill it, and
Yeah.
then it's sort of it's firm, and then when you're going to finish it, you're just going to put it in the pan and then add more hot stock, and it just takes right back up to the stage where you left it.
And the key is to not to lay it flat and let it cool down as quickly as possible. That
Yeah.
way, it won't continue cooking and cook over.
And so if you're having a dinner party,
Yeah.
and lots of people are like, "Oh, I couldn't do risotto in a dinner party," right?
Yes, you
because
can.
you totally can. You can take it to that 3/4 finish.
Well, look, I've made the whole thing so far.
know,
It's so
I know.
easy.
Right. And then you can whip it up for the last 10 minutes and look like a superstar.
Exactly.
Or Jamie Oliver, or Chef
Interesting.
Andrew, or whoever you'd like to be.
Whoever you got.
That's so fun.
So I'm just gonna do a little see what my rice texture is.
And check seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, this is the stage where we take it off and lay it out because it's like a little crunch, a little grain of starch.
Kind
in
of
the
gets
middle
like
there.
just stuck in your tooth. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Flavor's great though.
Just stuck.
Just stuck there.
Just
Just stuck. Not
That'd be in
going
the
in.
recipe, right? That's in the method.
It's in the method. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get the just stuck in your tooth and
Just
pull it
stuck
off the
in your
burner.
Yeah. Al dente actually means stuck in your nose.
So you are located in Dartmouth.
We-
but you opened a new office.
We did. So we've been
in our neck of the woods.
right beside you guys. Yeah, down in so our new location's Bedford Tower. We opened there in July 1st, and we've been slowly look on my sticker.
Oh, there you go.
We've been slowly getting the word out. It's a different concept because everyone that is one of our specialists have come. They've come from other places
Okay.
with a book of business. So we want to kind of bring in the right people. So we are letting people know we're in Bedford, and it's a slow process to let them know kind of who we are, what we do, and that
Okay.
it's a little bit different. Yeah, because you might go in on one day and there's one person there, and it's not the Disney specialist. So they are going to refer you back and say,
So it is a retail environment. Like you would
It is
literally
retail.
come in, you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I want to go do a travel. I want to go do a trip that's outside the box or a little different."
Yeah.
You come there and
You
can.
could. Most people call first, or they
Yeah.
look on the website, see who the specialist is, and then call them, make an appointment, and then they'll come and meet you in either office. So we're downtown Dartmouth, or now in Bedford Tower. Because before the model was you walk into a storefront and you say, "I want to do this wonderful vacation. I hope you know it."
And
I hope you
you're
know
probably
what I want-
refining the
how to help
process
the one
and
person.
the filtering now because you're able to do most
It's
of that
so great.
online.
It's so
right,
great.
beforehand.
People look, and we have people call and they say, "Well, I'm looking to go to, Thailand and Vietnam for a week," and it's like perfect. There you go. I want to do this. Well, there you go. So my job is just kind of
awesome.
put people with the right
Connections.
person. Yeah.
Relationships and connections.
Everyone loves to sell what they know, right?
That's right.
And they don't want to sell what they don't know. So they
Agreed.
get nervous about it or anxious about it. But if it's something that is in their wheelhouse and they love talking about it, then they give you all these little tips. So when I was there, I did this. So it's really fun.
Super
yeah,
cool.
it's great.
We have some Instagram
Terry
questions.
is food writer for Dartmouth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she said, just home from work and had to jump on and see you. Yummy
Ah.
risotto.
Extra yummy. Well, actually, this is a perfect stage. I've got This is a
It's a
squash.
very amazing color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So this is a butternut squash puree that we have here. We turn this into soup oftentimes for our shop, for
Yeah.
our retail
I
shop
love
here.
butternut.
And this is one way I love to finish risottos with a different, really intensely flavored puree. So I've made it with a spinach cream before. The whole risotto turns bright green. If you have beets, you can do a nice purple puree. In this case, we're going to go nice and orange. So we're going to add this butternut squash puree in here and just stir it around. So this is the last 10% of liquid that I need to make the risotto. So it's to fully cook it.
So if you didn't have the squash, you would have used more stock, or you'd always.
Yeah, exactly. I would have used more stock, but this is sort of like the flavoring at the very end. And like if in a restaurant environment, this is the thing that you'd add at the very end to sort of help finish it. So you can have a neutral risotto base and then have 3 or 4 different risottos from that base.
Oh,
depending on what you do.
that's
Yeah.
neat. So you could have done where it's parboil a little bit or whatever.
Par cooked, yeah.
Par cooked.
You got the terminology
Yeah.
down.
And then cool it and keep it different things, and then add something in to
Totally.
make it. Oh.
You can have
And
risotto
every
fi-
night your
yeah.
family would think you're making a new risotto.
Exactly.
And then if you have leftovers, then you cool it down, and then you can make it into cakes and then fry it up or
Oh.
cubes. Like we do little risotto
Yep.
croquettes where we take not leftover, we actually make it this way. And then you like bread it, and then it's crispy like arancini.
Yeah, and you
Right?
put a lot of cheese in there, so you bite into it and you get
It's
this
like
cheesy,
luscious.
rice, stringy. So good.
Yum.
So good.
Nothing to see here.
Ginger just came to top her wine up, and she's wiping off Adam's laptop.
She topped
It's
it up on Adam's laptop.
Really
Yeah.
great. Adam's gonna get not Adam's night tonight.
We found the root of the tech problem.
I'm only
That's
twitching
the
over
root.
here.
Exactly.
Tech problem.
Yeah.
So
Yum.
for this, I reached out to Bishop Cellar and Jenny this morning, and
Yes.
she was.
They may be on here. One
Yeah, they're gonna come on
So
sometime.
they're hosting. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Jenny-
hosting the trip.
So Jason and Alana's fluent in Italian.
Yeah.
So they hosted the trip that just went in October, and now Jenny and Alana are hosting again.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, lots of fun.
So I said to Jenny, look, we're doing this. We're going to talk on Chit Chat Shop. What wines were you going to send? So she sent 2 beautiful whites and a
This
red.
one's really good.
It is.
It's
That
a
one's
pear.
it's pear. It's like appley pear.
it's really good.
And then so this one is I have my cheat notes over here because Patty's not really up to Italian wines here. That one is the Poggio all'Oro Vermiccia. Is that right? It's organic.
That sounds good.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia! So that one was really
Fettuccine.
nice. That's perry and very fruity. This one is a blend. This is a Chardonnay and a Vermentino, which is really delicious.
Yeah.
That's very more in line with what I normally drink. Yeah. And yes, this one is the 4th largest producer in the Montalcino. Montalcino.
Which is one of the stops.
Oh,
Yeah, they spent a whole
see,
day
Jenny, you
there.
did a good job. You picked
Yeah,
it.
a whole day
Yeah,
there.
we haven't even tried that one yet. So
Oh,
then
the
we have
red.
the last one is a Chianti Classico, which is 90% Sangiovese, 5% Merlot, and 5%. I've never heard of this grape. Colorino.
I can't read your writing.
I know. I was scribbling. It says on the bottle, though. I'm sure.
Oh, now I don't have an excuse.
No, it doesn't say on the bottle. That was on the Bishop Cellar tasting notes. Anyway.
Yeah, they're great.
All
People have so
delicious.
much fun when they, yeah. We've done 2 river cruises. And there might be another one that we're kind of looking at that we need a wine
I'm
house,
very
so-
excited about this.
It'll be lots of fun.
My wheels are turning.
And we're doing so I think with Italian so fun, and we were doing all these, like we have 2 trips going to Amalfi, one going to Tuscany, the Bishop Cellar, so we had 5 trips to Italy that we had planned this year, besides all the other ones that are with all the major companies, do all those great guided tours that you want kind of a little more like you're okay with a bigger group, you're okay going up to 40, and you want kind of everything included, and because our trips are only 6 days. If you wanted to do one that was 12 days, we kind of customize it before and after for you. So we just do all these things. So we started. So one of the agents that is now a specialist at Niche Travel Group is fluent in Italian and Spanish. So I said, hey, why don't you do an intro to Italian? So that starts tomorrow night. They're doing 3 weeks at Liquid Gold.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I saw that. That's
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night.
So tomorrow
November
night's the
15th.
first one, and then we have it as well, the 15th, 22nd, and 29th. And then and it's going to be the same class those 3 nights. Actually, Terry is going to go to one of them too. Hello, Terry. And it's just going to be the basics, like conversational Italian, kind of what you want to know, how to pronounce all these different words.
Yeah.
Because they're all difficult even when you're there.
It's like trip prep.
It is. It's just fun, and it doesn't matter going on our trips or whatever trips. Just come on out, and then we're gonna kind of pool the group that do the same class for 3 weeks because it's the same. So you wouldn't attend all three. You just
Okay,
go to
you just go to one of the
and then we'll
three.
see if there's an interest in doing something a little bit more in depth. They can do that, but yeah, it's fun.
That's super
It's like we're
cool.
gonna have some great cocktails and have some fancy food there, and come and learn some Italian.
Cocktails, food, Robin, they're speaking our language.
I know,
I'm
right?
there.
Life can be so civilized if you want, Like it just can be easy. Have some food, have some wine.
It's looking pretty delicious there,
Meet
Mr.
some nice
Chef
people.
Andrew.
This is my
really
favorite part
does.
of finishing the risotto, the shimmy.
So
You
those
gotta
are
shimmy the
those are
pan.
more than the fish
Got the
eyes
lingo
now.
down.
Yeah.
Like,
Who's leading Ladies Network? That's Menna, right? Is it Menna? Did she just came on?
Menna. Hello, Miss Menna.
So
You
we
know,
are
East
almost
Coast
ready here.
Chihuahua.
East Coast Chihuahua?
Chihuahua. I've never heard of that. Chihuahua.
Ooh.
As you were, Andrew. Sorry.
I have friends that
That's
have
cool. Chihuahuas are
Chihuahuas, but I
great.
don't think that's them.
So I'm just gonna add just a little pinch of stock here. I just got a slight crunch. We're like
Okay.
a minute away from finishing this off, and it's gonna be awesome. So we're gonna fold
then we
in
have
a
all
little-
these other fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
going on.
So my favorite. Well, I have so many favorite parts of risotto, but the best part, I think, is finishing it off with butter and cheese. So that's what we're gonna do.
Butter
So,
on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon and butter.
Oh yeah.
Bacon, butter, and cheese.
So in a minute, I'm gonna need you to
Sure.
just put the wine down just for a second. Just for a second.
She's not ready for that.
Not
I
ready
can
yet.
do that. I can do that. And this is like the chef version of what we have at home. And
Yeah.
It's just, is it better?
It's great for filing your nails.
Yeah.
It's also great for
Heels.
For heels. There we go. But this is actually originally a woodworking tool that they used to plane wood, but it's a microplane, so it's perfect for getting super thin shavings of cheese. All right, so let's just give
right
her-
on top? Okay.
Yep, just right on top, and I'll stir it in as I see fit. But we want a lot of cheese in here because this
all
is.
right.
I haven't added any salt to finish this. The cheese is going to bring the seasoning level up to where we want it. So.
And that's a good thing to consider too when you're doing risotto or anything. If you're using bacon or pancetta, that's naturally salty, and you're adding cheese. So you want to make sure that you don't, before you do this, that you don't have it fully seasoned, right?
Exactly.
Because it'll be too salty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also why I've got some butter to finish it up with, but it's actually unsalted butter. That way, if your risotto, I mean, you don't have to do this, but this is just an extra control
Yeah.
step to have unsalted butter, and then that'll. Oh, this is beautiful. So you can already
smells so
see
good.
He's getting
the cheese in
excited.
your.
You can't smell it on Instagram.
No,
but it
this is
smells
true.
good.
But you notice it just got super creamy. You put the cheese in, and
Yeah.
because it's microplane, it's just melting like in no time at all. And that's perfect on the cheese amount for
Oh,
right now.
perfect.
And then we can finish.
They've got a perfect.
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 Perfect. 10 out of 10. So now we're going to. It's your turn to stir now.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm just going to drop in these cubes of cold butter, and what this does, it's actually just pay attention to the surface of the risotto because it's going to get shinier, and what that means is this butter is coating all the starch molecules. It's getting all in there between every grain of rice. It is slowly hypnotizing you to eat more butter.
This should be a TV show, just like.
I know, totally.
There we go. So we got all these cubes of butter, and the idea is because it's cold, it's emulsifying into the sauce. So it's just gradually melting, and as it melts, you're stirring it around, and it's just getting awesome. Yeah, that's really good.
It looks really amazing.
Andrew,
All right.
I don't know where you start, Andrew, but Menna just said great work. I guarantee it.
Oh
Bring
my
it on.
gosh.
So really, grocery store, you just go in and there's risotto rice, and
Yep.
you can't go wrong. Just pick one.
You can't go wrong.
Arborio or
carnaroli.
I was gonna say yeah,
Yeah.
but arborio is your best bet, and that's most widely available.
Yeah, definitely. Can't-
So you have to cook it in a pan first with all your goodies.
Yeah,
With your
exactly.
olive
And it takes
oil
on,
and your
I mean, when we
garlic and
taste it in a sec, you'll
onions.
see it's taken on all the flavors of everything we put in there. And the rice is super good and creamy. That looks awesome.
It's just so nice to know that you can make it. And I know
Yeah.
everything you can make, but some food, I mean, you're looking at 2 hours of prep and all this kind of nonsense, right? Like, but you could make this
Totally.
from getting home.
Yeah.
Like, you
yeah,
can just get home from
absolutely.
work
And
and
if you do this, like, there's no reason you can't just have another frying pan on the side doing a little saute of,
Yeah.
of vegetables. I'll show you actually when we garnish this up. We've got some extra.
good.
I like to add different textures to the top of it to sort of make everybody really interesting.
I like asparagus in it too.
Oh, asparagus is great. It's great. And for asparagus, what I've done before is like take the tender tips and you sort of put them to the side, and then with your stock you can actually puree the asparagus bottoms, and then so then you get like a creamy asparagus
Before you
risotto
cook
with
them, or
so what I do is throw them right in the stock and just cook them a little bit so you
Yeah.
can puree them then, so it's part of your base.
so that gives you all the color.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And asparagus, if you're doing that, do it with a little mascarpone in there.
Oh,
it's so
mascarpone.
good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Guess who's making risotto this weekend?
So
We'll be over.
Terry's making it this weekend, and I'm gonna come visit.
all right, I'll show you now. When you plate up risotto, this is pretty key. I once had a chef I worked for. Well, I worked for Craig Flynn for years, and he loves making risotto, and he's made a lot of great risottos. And we used to say in the kitchen, a good risotto has to relax. And
okay.
So
It's like meat has to rest.
Exactly,
Risotto has
exactly.
to rest.
That's
So
something
what-
else I didn't know for years. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like warmer when you cook meat, and then when
You
you're
should never
done,
eat
you
it
have to
hot,
leave
hot, hot. Yeah.
So what we do is we pile it right in the center of the plate here,
Okay.
and then see how the pile is just
Yeah.
it's relaxing, and then give it a little shake,
Okay.
and ta-da! You
Takes
got your
the whole
risotto
plate.
beautifully to the edge, and then we'll garnish it up here with some. I've got some toasted sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds, with a little
yum.
bit, just a pinch of coriander and smoked paprika.
And you just do that in a frying pan or in
This
the
is just in
oven?
a dry frying pan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's dry.
Just
No
dry,
oil.
no
Yeah.
oil at all.
That's
So
what
you
I'm
toast
So
also
you
up
get
the
the
nuts.
toasted flavor
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
spices. Yeah.
I've never done it dry, and it always seems to smoke and burn. Learning so much
You're learning
tonight.
so much
so
tonight.
much, so much.
And I know you guys were eyeing these before. Here,
Yes,
try
I was
one of
gonna eat
these.
them.
So
I
these are-
love Brussels sprouts.
I roasted.
Chips.
So these are Brussels sprout chips essentially. I just took the leaves off the Brussels sprouts.
Yum.
So you know, if you've got some kids at home and
Those
you
are
trust them with a
delicious,
paring
aren't
knife,
they?
get them
Yeah.
to peel all your Brussels sprouts into little leaves.
Punishment. You
Punishment. You're on Brussels sprouts
Yeah.
tonight, honey.
can get your homework done.
Yeah, exactly. You're on sprout duty. And I
that's
just
so
roasted
good.
these in the oven for
So they don't have
350
any of that
degrees
cabbage.
for about
Yeah.
8-10 minutes.
Yeah, so lots of food trips, lots of music trips.
Trips.
Yeah, this year's Jamaica. So this year, Cora was busy with Alan, so on the river cruise. So Shaded and Paul are doing it together in Jamaica. We didn't anticipate how quickly that was going to go, and we launched it in June. And normally things get going kind of in September, and it was sold out 3 weeks later. So every seat
Wow.
on the plane's gone. Just a direct flight to Jamaica with Transat. So now we have a side group with WestJet and a side group with Air Canada Vacations going through Toronto. So it's gonna be a super party. Yeah,
Wow,
lots
that
of
is
fun.
super cool.
Yeah, and then we have to shop in Bedford now, and just
I
letting
know.
people know kind of where we are, what we're doing, and
It's very cool.
lots of good specialists. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a totally different concept, but it's just it doesn't suit. I don't think to think you can walk into any place, anytime, and whoever happens to be sitting there is gonna nail and knock
And I
that park out
mean,
of the
travel has evolved a lot in the last 15 years,
Yeah.
right? Like, you used to always require a travel agent. You
Yeah.
don't now, right?
No.
Because people can go online and book all these. But just the specialty that you offer and the experience that you offer in that, I think that's...
Well, so I mean, you can do anything you want online now. You don't need to use a travel.
you
agent.
can have a show called Chit Chat Chat.
You can do anything. you can do anything on your own, right? So it's just a matter of people say, well, why would we call you then? It's like, well, you can spend 30 hours figuring out what this person already knows.
And
That's it.
it's just so customized. Like, the experience of going to a
Yeah.
villa in
I
Italy
know.
and eating amazing food and drinking amazing wine and just being able to go and relax and enjoy that and not have to, like, micro-plan it and make...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially with Italy, because we've done so many trips before we had this one where people come in and there's 2, 3, 4 couples and they're like, we're going to rent a villa, we're going to do this. And I'm always saying, great, who's the designated driver? Who's going to not drink wine when you go to all the wineries?
Yeah.
Because that's no fun, right? And so this time, so you're just taken care of.
Yeah.
So you just get brought here and brought there, and then there's a little day trip here, and you're off to Siena, and yeah. So it's fun.
Someday.
It's a good gig.
It's a good gig.
I see a trip.
There's a
What
future.
was it, Patty's party trip?
Yeah.
Not cooking
Patty's
with Patty
party.
in Tuscany.
Yeah.
Because you don't do good.
I have a friend that always said, Patty should have a show that I can cook better than you. And I was like, that's a really, really bad name for a show, but it's kind
Where
of
people
stuck.
would be challenging you.
Yeah, yeah,
You're like,
totally.
"What?" But you get to eat
It's
it
a
and they cook
competition,
it.
competition every night.
That sounds
It's
fun.
on right
Yeah,
after
fun.
real-time risotto.
We're going to monopolize Facebook Live here with Kitchen Door. Well, thank you for coming
Oh,
on,
it's
and we
great.
apologize for the technical
fun.
difficulties
Wait,
because
crazy windstorm. What do
we're
you
blaming the weather. We're
Yes.
totally blaming the weather, but this was delicious, Chef Andrew.
Thank
It
you.
was delicious.
And if you want to book a custom trip, Niche Travel's the way to go.
We'd love to help you.
All the way, all the way. And just go hang out with Faith. She's pretty fun. She laughs a lot, super
do.
positive, and she
Yeah.
likes wine, you know.
I do. I like people. I like
Nothing wrong
wine.
with that.
I like travel.